Some men don't hate abuse. They hate being treated like women. That's it. That's the video. When a man says, well, people ask me what I did to deserve it, he says it like it's this brand new level of injustice. Like he just discovered that people blame victims. Like that's somehow exclusive to him. No, sweetheart, you just finally being treated the way that women have been treated forever. And shocker, you don't like it. Almost like it sucks, right? When a man says, nobody believed me, what I hear, I've never had to prove a damn thing, and I don't know how to function now that I do. Now that his word alone doesn't just carry him through, he calls it oppression. It's not oppression, it's equality, and it's making you sweat. I'm Lisa Sonni, a toxic and abusive relationship expert, author, and creator of the Break and Rebuild method. Now, I've helped thousands of women untangle all their trauma bonds and rebuild their sense of self after abuse. If you're tired of the gaslighting by people, systems, and your own trauma, hit that subscribe button. We don't do fluff here, we do clarity. So let's start with the classic, right? They asked me what I did to deserve it. Some men are acting like this is some kind of cultural low point, like it's evidence that the world hates men. Meanwhile, every woman who's ever tried to report abuse is like, and? Women are always asked what they did to deserve it. Why didn't you leave? What were you wearing? Had you been drinking? Are you sure you didn't provoke him? And that's on a good day. That's with receipts. That's with a paper trail. That's after getting humiliated just for reporting it. Cassie Ventura came forward with the truth about what Diddy did to her. She had evidence, testimony, a settlement, and then security footage comes out showing him violently assaulting her in that hotel hallway. People still ask her why she stayed. They still called her a gold digger. They said she was trying to ruin his career, even with a video. Like the footage wasn't enough because he didn't fling her off a balcony, right? Apparently, brutal assault, it's just a little roughhousing, right? But only if the man's famous enough. Amber Heard, she was turned into a meme. She's a punchline. People still bring her up as if she's the blueprint for false allegations. You don't have to like her, but if you watched that trial and you came out of it thinking women are out here just making things up for attention, you were not watching with your eyes open. There was literal audio of Johnny Depp mocking her, laughing at her, admitting to hitting her. Sure, she cried wrong, so she must have been lying. Kesha accused her producer of rape and then got sued by him. She was the one dragged through the court system. She was the one blacklisted from the industry. She was the one forced to keep working under the man that she said traumatized her. So when a man says, well, people ask me what I did to deserve it, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at all. I'm just unimpressed. Welcome to the game, buddy. You're not special, right? You're finally on the field instead of that VIP box that you're so used to. It's not right that men who've been abused get asked that. It's not right. Full stop. Don't willfully misunderstand the topic here and the point. I am making the point that the energy that some men show only when it affects them is infuriating. The hypocrisy is bananas. Now, I want to talk about the benefit of the doubt. I don't give it to men. I don't offer it as a courtesy, and I don't feel bad about it. That leads men to accusing me of hating them, right? They call me a misandrist because they don't know what the word means. It makes me laugh, to be honest with you, because I'm not angry and I don't hate them. I'm just not pretending anymore. I am only saying out loud what men have been doing and are still doing every single day. I'm just pointing out that women not being believed doesn't matter to the very men who demand to be believed. The hypocrisy, right? Men love to act like women are irrational for not trusting them, but they're actively protecting other men who are out here lying and cheating and hitting and stealing and manipulating and negging. And they're going to call it bro code, right? It's bro code. Men don't give women the benefit of the doubt, not in court, not in public, usually not even in their own relationships, right? And a lot of women, they don't even give it to women either because the patriarchy has trained us to doubt each other. So if we're being honest, what men are mad about, it's actually not really the concept of doubt. It's the fact that they're not getting the automatic pass anymore. They're pissed that their word isn't enough. They're mad that someone said, I'm actually going to need more than just your word. And if the only time you care about justice is when you're the one getting questioned, that is not a moral stance. Now, I want to drag out the old equality argument because I already know what the comment section of this video is going to look like, right? Men love to throw that word around when they're losing something. Well, I thought feminism was about equality. They say it like they've been fighting side by side with us this whole time. You weren't marching for equal pay. Men are constantly talking about the gender gap has been debunked when it hasn't. You weren't demanding justice for sexual assault victims. You're not in the comments defending the woman who shared her story. But now that a woman blocked your number, maybe she called you out or she said no, you want equality now, right? We're fighting for equality. And equality means sometimes you get treated the same way that women do, which means being questioned, being doubted, being asked for proof, being told that you're overreacting, and being called dramatic, cold, crazy, manipulative, sensitive, unstable, abusive, a liar. That's what equality looks like when you've had the privilege the whole time. So the truth is, if you don't like the way that you're being treated now, you just got a little taste of what it's like to be treated like a woman. So I want you to take that anger and direct it at the system, the ones that you guys built, not at the woman who handed you the mirror. So let's talk about victimhood, right? Men are constantly saying in my comment sections, women want to be the victims so bad. Oh, 100 women versus accountability. Now, women say men want to be victims. Here's the difference. Women are victims. We don't want to be. It's not a role that we're applying for. It's actually a role that is forced upon us. There's no prize at the end. It's not empowering. It's humiliating. It's isolating. It's dangerous. Listen to all of the victims that I just quoted. Cassie, Amber. Do you think that they have anything now? They really don't. They're still being dragged through the mud. But what I find so fascinating is that men seem to have finally figured out that victimhood protects them. It actually buys them sympathy, right? They cry on a podcast and it goes viral. They say, I was abused too, and suddenly no one's allowed to hold them accountable. They're not crying to heal. They're crying to avoid consequences. They're crying because they got caught. And the worst part is that men who have been abused by women, those men, they're not even given the space to actually exist and heal because of the men that I'm talking about. It's horrible. So ironic how men's mental health is such a big topic when it happens to you. If you want space for male victims of abuse, then you have to make space for victims of abuse. Women can show up with police reports, photos, medical reports, recordings, eyewitnesses. They're still called liars. They're still called manipulative, crazy exes. And a man cries and it's, oh, he's so vulnerable. A woman cries and she's putting on a show. So while we're here, I want to be really clear. Men have historically been able to commit crimes and face zero consequences. They beat their wives, they rape their girlfriends, they abuse their kids, and the courts, the cops, the neighbors, the family members, everybody, they look the other way. They get a free pass. They get another chance. They get told he's just going through something. They get told, well, we don't want to ruin his life. Spare me your crocodile tears about false allegations because they don't ruin lives. Real ones do. And they ruin the lives of the victims, not the perpetrators. Let's talk about some of those so-called false allegations that men love to bring up. Brian Banks lost years of his life. The woman who accused him confessed to lying. That's one. Okay. What about the Duke lacrosse team? The charges were dropped. There was prosecutorial misconduct and a botched investigation. Still, they walked away with millions in book deals, podcast invitations. Meanwhile, women who tell the truth, they don't get book deals. They get death threats. And the biggest one, Amber Heard, you think she lied? Then explain why she was destroyed publicly. Not him, right? He got standing ovations. She got silence. So even if you believe that he was hurt too, the level of hatred that only she got proves the point. Women don't get away with it. False allegations are rare, incredibly rare. It's between 2 and 10%. And the truth is, even within that 2 and 10%, a lot of it is police mishandling it, not enough evidence and charges being dropped that people like to say was a false allegation when he wasn't proven innocent, but was found not guilty. And people like to conflate those two because it supports the narrative that you want, but that's not actually true at all. Truth? Most men aren't scared of being falsely accused. They're scared of finally being held accountable. And here's one more thing that I want to leave you with. It's about the silence. Where were all these good men when women were being torn apart for speaking up, right? Where were you when your friends were making jokes that aren't jokes? When their dad hit their mom and they said nothing? Or when their buddy was cheating or controlling or just straight up mean and they stayed quiet? You only cared when the system stopped automatically protecting you. And that's not working in your favor, right? You're calling it broken. It's not broken. It's just not rigged for you anymore. Abusive men, they don't hate being mistreated. They hate losing the power. They hate mirrors. They hate the idea that they'll be judged by the same standards that they used against everybody else. Before everybody gets all in their feelings, I want to be so clear, because this clearly needs to be said. I am not saying that men cannot be victims. Men are victims of abuse at the hands of men and women. I am saying that men are not used to being disbelieved in the way that women have been. I am not mocking their pain at all. I am calling out power. And if that's uncomfortable, it should be. Good. Growth usually is. Many men do not hate abuse. They hate being treated like women. They don't want justice. They want a shield. And I am not handing it to them. If this hit a nerve with you, that works. That means you're finally seeing it clearly. Now, if you've lived this, if you've been blamed or doubted or ignored, you're not crazy. You're just waking up. What we need as a society is support for male victims of abuse and female victims of abuse. And as soon as I stop seeing men in the comment sections constantly degrading women and mocking female survivors, you might see me and women like me put more energy into helping and protecting male victims too. Women have built healing spaces for women, and I encourage men to do the exact same.